Today, I'm going to talk about how we have to keep going no matter what and to not give up. Whatever the situation may be, good or bad, you have to keep going. Even if your situation is good, you still have to keep going to maintain what you have. And if it is bad, moving forward is the only way to make progress, and progress is key to positive change. If you are in a bad situation right now, or would simply like to improve your situation, or you have a problem or an issue you have to take care of, moving forward and the ability to keep going is the only way to improve the situation or to solve the issue. You cannot just give up. Sometimes there is no direct solution that you can see, but you have to continue living. Keep going until the potential solution presents itself. And if that solution does not solve the issue, you have to continue forward until the next possible solution presents itself, and so on. Some solutions take time. You have to put in the time and effort for good things to happen. Also, sometimes a direct solution might not come, but just time itself might be able to remove an issue, or time will change the situation where you no longer have this issue. You have to keep going no matter what. You cannot give up. Even if your problems do not go away, you have to continue. If not, other new problems may arise just because you stopped doing what you were doing, or did not take care of certain important items. You cannot let what you cannot do stop you from doing what you can do. In some cases, people may not really have any problems that they need to solve, but just feel tired. The feeling that your energy is drained and you feel burned out. If you need to rest, rest. But once you finish resting, keep going. You always have to continue. It is the most practical thing to do. So what does keep going consist of? Basically, you just have to continue living and not give up on life. You have to get up out of bed each morning, go through your routines, take care of your responsibilities. Keep going means taking good care of your mind and body to be able to function well and to be able to think well. Sometimes people, when they've given up on themselves, they neglect taking care of themselves, and that will make things worse. They pick up bad habits that do damage to their mind and body, which then makes whatever undesirable situation that they are currently in worse, because they are in a lesser state capable of improving their situation. Also, I have to mention that we all have moments where we feel depressed or down at times, and therefore don't make the correct choices, or sometimes make the wrong choices and make things worse. But you have to pick yourself up and keep going. You cannot say there is no point anymore and just give up. For example, if someone is feeling depressed and they decide to drink excessive amounts of alcohol to numb the pain, but later realizing that drinking excessive amounts of alcohol wasn't really the right thing to do to improve their situation, and if anything would make life worse, or would have the potential to make their lives go into a downward spiral, once they realize this, they need to make the right choice. Some people might say whatever and just continue on the wrong path, but they have the choice to do what is better for them. For example, take working out and exercise at the gym as a simple example of this point. Like if you skip leg day at the gym, then you might say, what's the point, and skip the next leg day, and before you know it, you will reach a point where you don't work on your legs at all. Same for the previous example with the person who drinks excessive amounts of alcohol. They can't just say, hey, I was drunk yesterday, knowing it wasn't the best thing for them to do, but feeling guilty for it and feeling hopeless, thinks, what is the point of life anyways, and decides to drink excessive amounts again, leading to a downward spiral. Whatever situation we face in life, we must have the courage to face it head on and keep moving. It is okay to take breaks here and there. Life is a marathon. If you feel you need a rest, whether a mental rest or physical rest, take your rest. But once done resting, keep going. When I need motivation to keep going in life, I think of the story of the Israelites escaping Egypt in the Bible. For those who don't know this story, I will give a quick background. This story can be found in the Old Testament in the Bible. I won't go over the entire details, but basically the Israelites came to Egypt to live because of a famine and were later turned into slaves by the Egyptians. Then came along Moses, who went to the Pharaoh asking for the Pharaoh to free the Israelites and to let them go. The Pharaoh said no, and later, with God's help, the Israelites were making their escape. On their escape route, with the Egyptians chasing them, they reached the Red Sea, which was a dead end, because there was no way for them to cross the water. At this point, it would be natural for many people to think that it was over, that their escape plan failed, and that they soon would be captured back. There was no way for them to escape because of the sea and water in front of them, and the Egyptians behind them that were chasing them to capture them and return them back to a life of slavery. But at this point, a miracle happened. God opened the Red Sea for them. The water in the sea split in half with dry land in the middle, so that they could run across the seabed to the other side. They ran across into safety, and the Red Sea closed soon after, and the Egyptians could not pursue them anymore. This is a great story in so many levels, but we can use it as a great example on how we have to keep going in life. God opened the Red Sea for the Israelites so that they could go across, but they had to run across themselves after He made a way for them. He did not control their legs and made them move across the seabed. They had to make the choice to do so themselves. Also, they had to take enough steps to cross. I don't know how many steps were needed to cross the Red Sea, and it does not matter. The point is, you cannot just take a few steps and expect to make it across. And when you do not make it entirely across with the steps that you have taken, you cannot just feel that it is hopeless and just give up. You have to understand it is going to take more than a few steps to make it across the Red Sea. Sometimes you may take a lot of steps and still not cross, but you have to keep going and not give up. A few more steps may just do it, and even if a few more steps do not do it, you have to keep going, because to stop or to give up means it is over. Like I said before, if you are tired and need to rest, rest. Once you are finished resting, keep going. In life, you cannot expect amazing results with little effort. Also, it is possible that a person may put in a lot of effort and the results are not there. But you have to keep going. You cannot be near the end where you almost cross the Red Sea but decide to give up because your legs are tired and don't want to take the final steps across. Sometimes in certain situations or goals in our daily lives, we cannot see the other side of the sea, so you never know how close or far you truly are. This does not apply to just goals or any certain situation, but it applies in living daily life as well. You have to keep living, keep doing your best, and keep going no matter what. If you are tired, rest. And once you finish resting, then continue. You can run, walk, or crawl, but don't give up. Keep going no matter what. I hope this message is helpful and encouraging, and that it reaches those who need to hear this. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you next time.